All right, let's talk pie graphs. So here you've got a very short monthly budget. Don't we all wish our budget looked like this, right? Anyway, you have your expenses here, so you'd highlight those. These are what I'm putting into a pie graph. And then I would hold down Control and highlight the money that goes with those items. The reason I'm holding down Control is you can't do empty cells in a pie graph or in any graph for that case, in that case, because it will mess up your graph and it'll give you an error. So I hold down the first one, hold down Control on my keyboard, and then I select and hold the second one. All right, we'll go into Insert. We're doing a pie graph. And I know I want a 3D, and I know I want an exploding 3D, so I'll grab that one. Now, just like with the other graph, you get your chart tools, and you get all your design tab first. So you can pick some really cool looking formatting. You can always change the chart type here, switch the rows. I don't know how that works. Yeah, that doesn't work for a pie graph. Okay, layout here, you have your chart title again, so we would go with above chart and expenses, because it's just your monthly expenses. The cool thing about pie graphs though is that you can come in here, delete that legend, and come up here. You could have done that here as well. Data labels. Data labels are awesome here, and I'm going to go down and grab all the options for data labels first. And I'm going to pull it here to the side so you can kind of see it as I'm clicking on it. So I don't want the value because I can see the value right there. I do want to know the name, the category. There we go. And I'd like to know the percent. So car payment's 10% of all the monthly expenses. That's good information. I like the best fit here because it's going to fit it best to the graph, to the amount of space of the graph, excuse me. And so I could make it a little bigger, move it over a little bit. Whenever you get those crosshairs is when you can move it without having a problem. All right, cool. So now I've got a pretty slick looking graph. So the thing about pie graphs though that's different is each part is movable. So there's the name, and I clicked twice just to get that particular piece, but I should be able to move it out, just that piece. Oh, it's only letting me go that way. Interesting. Okay, but I can explode it out. I can grab this piece here, move it closer. So I find that there's not always a whole lot of rhyme or reason to pie graphs, but you can move them around a little bit, which is it's kind of cool. Sometimes it gets a little frustrating. You can also double click on it, and here you have angle of first slice. I can rotate it out. The pie explosion, the whole thing, I can push it out. You can change your colors, your 3D formatting, the contour, the material. So we could go with a little different look. We could soften the edges. So there, oh, nope, it's not letting me do that. Okay. So it doesn't look too different to me, but it did change the explosion there. So lots of fun things you can do with pie graphs specifically. The deal with pie graphs is it has to equal 100%. So in this example, this is a great example for a pie graph because of all your expenses, you want to know what the percentage is for each one. And so it fits to a pie graph, whereas other data where you're marking a trend in sales or something like that, that doesn't really work for a pie graph because it's not 100% is not the total outcome. But here it is. So have fun with your pie graphs.